Dear friends, today we will discuss a very important portion of physics, that is projectile. It is a fundamental or best part of physics what we discuss, and this projectile concept is applied in all chapters of physics, almost all chapters of physics. So try to understand properly. Projectile. So, what is the definition of a projectile? Its definition is like this: anything thrown into space moves only under the action of a gravity is called a projectile. Thrown into space and moves only under the action of a gravity. No other force should act on the body. Only one force, that is gravitational force, gravity. Only gravity should act on the body. Then the body is said to be a projectile. Can you tell me such example? Can you tell me such example where you throw something or somebody throw something or by some machine or something it is thrown and that moves only under the action of gravity. No other force act. You think some examples of such motion around you and make a list. Make a list. Pause the video here and make a list of such examples of motion you see in your day-to-day life. Then after that you play the video and see what examples I am telling to you. Okay, so I know what examples you have written in your copy. I know that. You have written this example. Sure. You have written this hitting six in cricket match. Hitting six. One batsman hit six. Then the ball, once hit the ball and the ball moves only under the action of gravity, hitting six. Or we can say kicking ball. A football player kick a ball and the ball moves under the action of gravity, kicking ball. That can be projectile. Or javelin throw. I can say also javelin throw. Okay, in sports, javelin throw the javelin like this and the javelin moves like this. Javelin throw, that also will be one example of projectile. You have written all this. Okay, I am not telling whether it will be example of projectile or not. You have written in your copy all these things. Have you written this one? Throwing one stone, throwing a stone. Normally to some street dog or some animal or towards somebody, some of your friend, you are throwing a stone like this. Or inside class, when the teacher turned his back towards you, at that time you have thrown your pen cap to your friends. Okay, you are writing that example. Throwing something, stone, pen cap. Okay, so that is projectile or chalk, projectile. Okay, so you have written this. I am not telling. These are the examples of projectile. Or a paper boat. Paper. That paper aeroplane. You have made paper aeroplane and throw like this. Paper plane. Paper plane. Okay. Or you have written aeroplane. Aeroplane motion. Real aeroplane. Not paper aeroplane, real aeroplane motion. Okay, you have written this. Or what more examples you have written in your copy? One arrow motion. Arrow from one bow. Okay, from one bow the arrow moves. That also you have written as projectile. Or you have written motion of a bullet. Motion of a bullet motion, which released from the gun, from the mouth of the gun and bullet motion. You have written some examples from this. So all these motions are only under the action of gravity. You check which motion is under the action of gravity only. Not a single motion. Not a single motion is only under the action of gravity. So all these are not the examples of projectile. Not a single one. Are you getting astonished? Are you getting astonished that not a single example work? Are you getting astonished here? No. If we see in our day-to-day life, on the surface of earth, atmosphere will be everywhere. If atmosphere is everywhere, so air resistance will act everywhere. So that means on surface of earth, the ideal projectile motion is not at all possible, because air resistance must be there. Must be air resistance. Okay, then now leave about the ideal projectile motion. Now come to real life projectile motion, where though air resistance acts, but its effect is negligible. Where effect is negligible, we can consider that motion as projectile motion. If we will not neglect air resistance, then no motion on the surface of earth is projectile. Okay, you neglect air resistance. Now which motions from this are projectile? Now let's compromise with the projectile. Okay, which are now projectile motion? Where the air resistance is neglected. Hitting 6. Yes, it is projectile. No problem. And kicking ball. But the problem is who is now kicking the ball? Whether your school player is kicking the ball or Ronaldo is kicking the ball. That is important. That is important when the international players, Ronaldinho, when they kick the ball. Have you seen the ball goes like this? Their focus will be towards one point, the ball will go to other point. They take the help of air. While kicking the ball, they take the help of air. Air plays a vital role there. The ball generally go like this. The ball never go like this. The ball go like this. While kicking the ball, the international players. So if kicking ball is done by your school player, okay, so then it is projectile motion. Yes, we can compromise, it is projectile motion. If this is your school player. Then javelin throw. Yes, it can be projectile. Air has not much role here. Stone, pen cap, but pen cap should be heavy. Okay, then air resistance has almost no role. It can be projectile. Paper plane. Here air resistance plays a vital role. Paper plane, when you throw the paper plane goes like this. Okay, paper plane goes like this. So here we cannot consider this as a projectile. Aeroplane motion. This is never projectile because it is run by fuel. It is continuously pushed by the engine. Continuously. Okay. So this aeroplane is not at all a projectile. Projectile is once you give energy, then you leave it. That is projectile. Then arrow motion is, it can be projectile. And bullet motion, here air resistance almost play no role. So that can be projectile. Bullet means if the bullet will not hit the target, then it is doing the projectile motion. Okay. So these are the tick marks. We can assume them as one projectile motion. So now we'll enter into this projectile. So what are the different projectile types we have? What are the different types of projectiles? Now let's see. First type, type 1. Thrown vertically upward. Projectile thrown vertically upward. Thrown like this and again return back in this line. Okay, and it can be projectile fired from a height, fired from a height. From a height you will fire one projectile. This is a tower. From this tower you will fire one projectile. Okay, you may fire horizontal, the projectile come like this. It can be projectile. Then 3. 3 is fired at an angle with horizontal. At an angle with horizontal. This can be projectile. Okay, this projectile is fired like this. And it moves in this way. An angle with horizontal. Then fired on inclined plane. Inclined plane. Inclined plane means the plane is like this. Projectile fired from this. Okay, on inclined plane projectile fired. So these are the different examples, different types of a projectile. So this projectile is from air to surface. This projectile is from surface to surface. Okay, so like this also you will listen the name of the projectiles. So this is about the different types of projectile, and this projectile fired vertically upward. Some books also deny this as an example of a projectile. Some books deny, but still as it satisfies the definition, why it will not be a projectile? It's also a projectile, no problem. So these are the different types of a projectile. So now we'll discuss the types of projectile one by one. So let's first start. Vertically upward case, that is very common, you know. By using equations of motion you can solve questions. That is not required to do. We'll start from type 2 projectile. Type 2 projectile will start. That's fired from a height. So this is the tower. From this tower height is h. From this tower it is fired horizontally. It can also fired at an angle, but we are doing now the simple case. If it is fired horizontally, how this projectile moves? This projectile moves like this and reach here. Reach here. The projectile, this red color I show the path of the projectile, which is also called a trajectory. Path is also called trajectory of the projectile. Okay, so here it will reach. So now discuss about this projectile. So first let's do its equation of a trajectory. Equation of trajectory. What is the equation of trajectory? Trajectory means what I told you, path followed is called as a trajectory. And it's a geometrical shape. So we must find its equation. But what is called equation? Equation means the relation between two variables x and y in 2 dimensions. So this happens in 2 dimensions. Projectile motion is a 2-dimensional motion. Okay, this is a motion in plane, motion in a plane. So 2 coordinates vary here. So now we'll discuss, we'll find a relation between 2 variables of the projectile. Let's consider one point of the projectile here. Suppose that is xy. If this point is xy, okay, at any instant t, xy is the position of the projectile at any instant, suppose t. At any instant t, so the position of the projectile is xy. We'll write the expression for x, then for y, then we'll combine them, then so that we will get one equation for this projectile. But let's discuss about its velocity first. This u is the horizontal velocity. At this point or at this point anywhere, let's take this point as we are discussing. At this point, what is the value of this horizontal velocity u? that value change or no change? That value doesn't change. Why it doesn't change? Why that remain as same u? Because in horizontal line, no force is acting, no acceleration in that line, no force, no acceleration. So only one force act on this, that is gravity in the downward direction. That is gravity in the downward direction. As no force is acting here along horizontal, so there is no change in this horizontal velocity. That u, even if when it touches the ground, the velocity also remains u. When it touches the ground, u remains constant throughout the motion of the projectile. Next come to the vertical velocity. What about the vertical velocity at this point? Vertical velocity at this point is from the starting. You had given only horizontal velocity. Have you given any vertical velocity? No. What is the vertical velocity at this point? At this point, the vertical velocity of the projectile is 0. Vertical component of velocity at this point is 0. No vertical velocity. And that vertical velocity gradually increases when the projectile comes down. When it comes to this point, it has some vertical velocity. Let's write Vy. That 0 is increasing and becomes Vy here. When it comes to this point, also it has some value. We'll find that. We'll find that value. It has also some value, that's the maximum. Gradually this increases along the vertical axis and here it will be maximum. Okay, so now let's find the equation of the trajectory. So I choose xy as any coordinates. So at any instant t, let's take this as origin, no problem. If you take this coordinate as origin, this point as origin, okay, so it is coming like this. So x increases, x value when the projectile moves like this, its x value is increasing in this line and y value is also increasing in this line. Okay, so now let's write along x-axis. Along x-axis, you see, along x-axis what happens? The coordinate, the distance covered is x. In this line, the distance covered is x. Velocity is u, time is t. So can I write u is equal to x by t because there is no acceleration in that line. So u is equal to x by t. Then along y-axis. Along y-axis. Now see along y-axis what happens? This y-axis, what is the distance covered? That is y. Along y-axis. When equations of motion are applied, they are applied along a particular line. Remember, along a particular line they are applied. So along vertical line, along y-axis, what is the distance covered? That is y. Up to this, you will see this is the y coordinate cover. Along y-axis, the distance covered is equal to y. The acceleration along y-axis is g. Acceleration is g. Okay, acceleration due to gravity, that is along vertical. Okay, and time taken is t. Time taken is t, that we have taken the time t. So now let's use the equation. S is equal to ut plus half 80 square. But what is s? Y. What is u? U means initial velocity. What is the initial velocity here? Along vertical I am telling. I am not telling along horizontal, I am telling only along vertical. I am doing along vertical, along y-axis means your focus should be only along y-axis. Don't go to the x-axis line. What is the initial velocity? 0. Plus half, what is the acceleration? G. Acceleration is g and t square. So you got y is equal to half gt square. But in place of t, now let's put from this equation you bring t, from this equation 1 you bring t and you put it here. So t is equal to x by u square. Is it coming like this? g by 2u square whole into x square. Whole into x square, so this is y. This is your y. And this bracket term, g is always constant. U is constant because with what velocity you throw once means that become constant. Then its velocity makes sense, but u constant. So can I write this y is equal to kx square? See this expression. This is the formula of which geometrical shape. This is the equation of which geometrical shape. That one your mathematics teachers will teach you. Then you can able to understand. This is the equation of which geometrical shape. That is the equation of parabola. That is the equation of parabola. Okay. So this trajectory is called as parabolic. So trajectory of a projectile is parabolic. This is the equation of parabola. So about trajectory now over. This equation you have to remember to solve the questions. Then come to what is the time of flight. Let's find time of flight. Time of flight means for how much time? For how much time that projectile move. That is called time of flight. For how much time the projectile move is called as time of flight. Okay. So now let's find the time of flight. How will find the time of flight? We have to use the equation along y-axis. We have to use the equation along y-axis. Clear? Along y-axis now we will use the equation. So now use which equation we will use to find s is equal to ut plus half at square. What is s? S is h. Because time of flight means total time taken to reach at this point. So that is h. What is u? 0. I have told you initial velocity along vertical is 0. Half acceleration is g. So this is t square. So t you are getting now. This we can write as capital T as time of flight. So capital T is now 2h by g root over. So this is 2h by g root over. Clear? So this is the time of flight of the projectile. So now let's come. You have to remember this equation to solve the questions. Now we'll go to what is the range of the projectile. Range of the projectile. Now let's come. What do we mean by range? What is range in day-to-day life? When we throw something, how much maximum distance it can go horizontally, that is called range. The maximum horizontal distance covered by the body is called as range. From the figure, you see this is range. This is range of the projectile. The maximum value of x is the range. That is the range of the projectile. You must have done the experiment in your childhood with your friends. Not exactly experiment, competition, but now it become one experiment in physics. You must have done the competition in your childhood. That you 3 or 4 friends are standing and throw the stone. You see my stone is going maximum distance. Okay, I own the competition. Okay, what you are doing there? What you are calculating? On which basis you are telling I own the competition? Range. How much maximum distance it can travel along horizontal? That is the range. Okay, now I will find the range. How I will find the range? To find range, along which axis we have to go? Along x-axis. So range is the maximum horizontal distance along x-axis. So along x-axis, horizontal distance is called range. So distance is equal to speed into time. Nothing to do. No equation of motion because you have no acceleration. No equation motion is required, no acceleration. Simply distance is equal to speed into time. As no acceleration in that line, equations motion are not required. U is the velocity, T is the total time of flight, 2h by g root over. So this is the range of the projectile along the vertical, along the horizontal line. Maximum distance what it covers, that is called as the range of the projectile. So now we'll move to velocity of the projectile at any instant. Instantaneous velocity, or I'll say velocity of the projectile at any instant when it moves. When the projectile moves, its horizontal velocity remains constant, but vertical velocity gradually increases. Means all total its velocity increases. Okay, so this is our horizontal velocity. Suppose we at this point we will find velocity. This is the x component, this is the y component. It has two components, but s component nothing to do. X component velocity nothing to do because that is the u. That is u, that remains always constant. Only we have to find out y component velocity. V is equal to u plus at. Equation of motion will use u plus at. So what is the value of u? 0. At means gt. A means g. So we got vy. What is the resultant velocity? Resultant velocity is vx square plus vy square root over. Why I read like this? Because the angle between them is 90 degree. So if you use the triangular law, vx square plus vy square is root over. So this is u square. This is g square t square. This is root over. The resultant velocity or instantaneous velocity at any point. If you want to find the angle, this is the resultant velocity. It's clear? This is the resultant velocity of the body. If you want to find the angle, how much angle it will make with the horizontal. So this angle you will find. This is beta. This angle is beta. With horizontal, I want to find out what is the angle made by this. To tan beta. Tan beta, it's very clear. This is Vy by Vx. So like this, we can find all the expressions here of the projectile here. First, I found the equation of trajectory. Second, time of flight. Then horizontal range. Then instantaneous velocity. And we have to remember the formulas to solve the questions. But now I will move to the next type of projectile. Projectile which is fired at an angle with a horizontal. Which is fired at an angle with horizontal. So this projectile you see, surface to surface. This is fired at an angle, theta angle with horizontal. How this projectile move? See, this will be the trajectory of the projectile. This is the trajectory of the projectile when it is fired at an angle with a horizontal. Means your projectile is fired with initial velocity u making an angle theta with a horizontal. If it is making an angle theta with horizontal, this u velocity. This u velocity can be resolved into two rectangular components. One component here, one component here. One is along x-axis, one is along y-axis. So this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis line. Okay? So one is along x-axis, one is along y-axis. So two velocities we get. U can be resolved into two components, and this component will be which component? I have told you to remember this in shortcut. If theta angle is in contact, this is U, okay? So theta angle is in contact, this component is U cos theta. And this component, where theta is not there, U sin theta. So horizontal component is U cos theta, vertical component is U sin theta. But what about this horizontal velocity? Before, in the previous projectile also I had told you, horizontal velocity always remains constant throughout the motion of the projectile. Why it remains constant throughout the motion of the projectile? Because no force is acting along horizontal. So it remains constant throughout the motion of the projectile. Because no force is acting in that line. Okay, that always remains constant throughout the motion of the projectile. Remember this one. It is very important. U cos theta. But what about u sin theta? What about u sin theta velocity? U sin theta, that first decrease when it go to this point. U sin theta, when it go to this point, u sin theta component first decrease. Why decrease? Because acceleration due to gravity that acts in the downward direction, force acts in the downward direction, so u sin theta component velocity gradually decreases, and at this point when you reach, what happens? U sin theta decrease, and here it becomes 0. That means along this line your velocity is 0. No velocity in that line. Just I draw the line like that, but there is actually no velocity. Only the velocity remains in this line. And what is that component? U cos theta. Only one line. One velocity remains at the highest point. This velocity, actually there is no component of velocity. Only one velocity remains along horizontal, that is u cos theta. Okay? Because u cos theta remains constant at every point. At this point, even if also if you see, here also it will be u cos theta. At this point also the velocity is u cos theta. Here u cos theta, here u cos theta, here u cos theta, horizontal velocity. But vertical velocity at this point how much? U sin theta. Why u sin theta? Because u sin theta decrease becomes 0 here, and again increase and become u sin theta here. So if you divide this projectile from the middle into two parts, these two parts are just mirror image of each other. So these two parts are just the repeats. Okay, just repeat. How what decrease, that again increase at this side. So let's find first equation of trajectory. Be a equation of trajectory. So what is equation of trajectory? Okay, so let's find equation of trajectory. Take any point, just like the previous one, x, y. Any coordinate of the projectile at any instant t. X, y is the coordinate of the projectile at any instant t. Okay, you will find the relation between x and y. That is the equation of trajectory. Okay, let's find the relation between x and y. How will you find? See, along first x-axis. Along x-axis, distance covered is x, velocity is u, time is t. So velocity u cos theta, velocity is u cos theta. Along x-axis, velocity is u cos theta, and distance cover. This is the distance cover along x-axis. This is x, and this is distance cover along y-axis. At instant t, I am telling you, okay? Why? So u cos theta is equal to x by t. So t is equal to x by u cos theta. This one will require later, for which I did like this. Then come along y-axis. Along y-axis. Along y-axis, see again, s is equal to ut plus half at t square. What is s? S is y. What is initial velocity? Along y-axis means we will stick to y-axis. Don't see any component, any velocity or any acceleration, anything along horizontal. Only stick to y-axis, along vertical. Okay. along vertical. What is the initial velocity? U sin theta. U sin theta into t plus half and acceleration. As it is going upward, we have to take the acceleration as minus g into t square. So it's coming now y is equal to u sin theta. In place of t you put x by u cos theta. This is minus half g t x square by u square cos square theta. X square by u square cos square theta. I just put the expression of t here. So implies that y is equal to x, u cancel, tan theta minus g by 2u square cos square theta into x square. So this is the equation of trajectory of the projectile fired at an angle with a horizon. This is the equation of trajectory. But if we write this equation, y is equal to some constant into x, because theta is constant, ax minus this bracket term is also constant, bx square we can write this, it is in this form. This is the format. Just I keep this in this form. But have you seen this expression? This is the equation of which geometrical shape? Okay, in mathematics you will read this is the equation of also parabola. So the trajectory of the projectile is parabolic. Trajectory of a projectile is parabolic. So this is about the equation of trajectory, and you have to remember it is y is equal to x minus bx square, and you have to remember also the long expression of the equation of trajectory to solve the questions. Next come to time of ascent. Bit B we will find time of ascent. It is the time taken by the projectile to move from the point of projection to the highest point. Time taken to move from the point of projection to the highest point. This is called time of ascent, from this point to this point. Okay, so now let's see how we'll find this time of ascent. This is the which equation we will use here, along vertical or along horizontal. To find time of ascent we use along vertical. Along y-axis, along vertical, use the equation. Here what is the final velocity? Along vertical, what is the final velocity? That is 0. Because along horizontal is u cos theta, but along vertical velocity is 0. So use the equation v is equal to u plus at. Final velocity here is 0. Initial velocity is u sin theta. Acceleration is minus g because it's going upward, and this is the time of ascent t. So time of ascent is equal to u sin theta divided by g. This is the time of ascent. So now we'll find time of a descent. How much time it takes to reach the highest point, the same time also it take to move from the highest point to the level of a projection. What is time of descent? It is the time taken to move from the highest point to the level of a projection. Time of a descent. The same time also it takes. It's not required to find. Time of a descent is also u sin theta by g. Ta is equal to Td. Same time also it takes. Then find time of flight. Time of a flight means for how much time the projectile travel, total time, and total time is equal to time of ascent plus time of a descent. So that is 2u sin theta by g, u sin theta by g plus u sin theta by g. So this is 2u sin theta by g. This is the total time of a flight. So then we go to find the maximum height of the projectile. Maximum height we will find there. So let's find maximum height of the projectile. What is maximum height? Height is along horizontal line or vertical line? Height is along vertical line. Maximum height from this figure you see, this is the maximum height. The maximum distance traveled by the projectile along vertical is the maximum height. Maximum distance traveled along vertical. So we use the equation of motion along vertical. Now use the equation of motion. Okay, to find the maximum height, maximum distance travel along vertical. Which equation will you use? It will be better v square minus u square equal to 2as. The question is coming to your mind that sir is using the equations very immediately, but how can you know there are 4 equations of motion? How can you know which equation will be fit for what? This also you can able to know by practice. If you do practice it more and more times, then also you can able to know. So which equation will fit in which place, in which problem, in which numerical. So b square minus c square equal to s. But this is along vertical. For the final velocity 0. For the initial velocity u sin theta square 2. Then what is the acceleration? Minus g. And the distance covered is h. So h equal to u square sin square theta divided by 2g. Maximum height which the projectile can move, h equal to u square sin square theta divided by 2g. But when this maximum height becomes maximum, when this maximum height becomes maximum, if we discuss that one, maximum height becomes maximum, it depends on which factors here. It depends on initial velocity, it's okay, but if initial velocity is constant, then this height depends on which factor? Another one is theta. So more is the angle of a projection, more is the maximum height. More is the angle of projection, more is the maximum height here. But for which value of a theta, this maximum height becomes maximum. It cannot go beyond that. For which value of theta? So h is maximum when sin square theta is equal to 1. That means theta is equal to 90 degree. Sin theta is equal to 1 and theta equal to 90 degree. If something I throw like this directly upward, then it will move maximum height. So this is about maximum height or height attained by the projectile. They will come to range of the projectile. What is the range of the projectile? Now come to the range of the projectile. Range means the maximum distance covered along horizontal is called as range. From this to this. This is the range. Maximum distance covered along horizontal is the range of the projectile. Okay. Then how can you find this range? Range we can find by using the equation along which line? Along horizontal, along x-axis. So range is equal to, what is the velocity in this line? Distance is equal to speed into time, u cos theta into time. Time is time of flight, total time of flight. Why I will take u cos theta? Because in this line, as we are calculating distance, so we have to calculate also, we have to take the speed in that line. And no equation of motion required because there is no acceleration in this line. So u cos theta into t. Now you put the expression of t here. If you put the expression of t 2u sin theta by g, 2u sin theta by g. So what it comes here? T I put here, so now it's coming u square, u square. 2 sin theta cos theta by g. This comes under one trigonometric function. And what is the trigonometric function? U square theta sin 2 theta by g. So this is range. 2 sin theta cos theta is one trigonometric formula, that is sin 2 theta. I use here this trigonometric formula. You have already read in mathematics or you will read in mathematics. Okay. So u square sin 2 theta by g. This is the range of the projectile. But when this range will be maximum? When one object will go maximum distance along horizontal. This also depends on the value of theta. Let's see. For constant u, it also depends on theta. So r is maximum when again sin 2 theta is maximum, means 1. If sin 2 theta 1, then sin 2 theta is equal to sin 90 degree. Because 1 means sin 90. So 2 theta is equal to 90 degree and theta is equal to 45 degree. When the projectile is fired at an angle 45 degree, then it reaches maximum distance. Then it moves maximum distance. So when your cricket players hit 6, they always try to hit 6 making angle 45 degree with horizontal, because the ball has to move out of the field. If that angle is 45 degree, to move out of the field. Those batsmen are called as the technical batsman. We had one such technical batsman in our Indian cricket team. I think you have remembered, you know him very well, the god of cricket, Sachin Tendulkar. Always hit. Sachin Tendulkar, very short man who always gives small value of u, have no so much force to apply more u. So Sachin Tendulkar always try to keep theta 45 degree. If theta 45 degrees, so the ball can able to move out of the boundary. Okay. But if you think about Mahendra Singh Dhoni, for Mahendra Singh Dhoni the theta doesn't matter. The angle doesn't matter, because Mahendra Singh Dhoni has so much amount of power he has. He gives a lot of u. He gives a lot of u. Okay. So theta doesn't matter for Mahendra Singh Dhoni and the ball will go out of the boundary. Okay. So this is when you throw something at 45 degree angle, it is equals to maximum height. Go to maximum range. The range will be maximum. So then you see, so you observe that range depends on theta. Range depends on theta. But one interesting thing you can see here, if this is 45 degree angle, then it goes maximum range. Maximum range it go. But another interesting thing we'll see here. What is that interesting thing now? See, suppose I will throw an object at 30 degree angle. If 30 degree angle, this range will be less. This range will be less. The object will fall here. The object will fall here. If 30 degree angle, obviously the object will fall here. Range will be less. Okay, if 30 degree less, if 45 degree, then more range. If the angle will be more 60 degree, if I throw the object at an angle 60 degree, does it move like this? If the angle is 60 degree, so it will move like this. 30 degree less range, 45 degree more range, then 60 degree again more range. No, this doesn't happen. If you will throw it at 45 degree, you see what type of motion. If you will throw more than 45 degree, you will throw at 60 degree. If you will throw at 60 degree, then this will not be trajectory. Rather, you see the trajectory, how the trajectory will be. Trajectory will be this one. If the angle of projection is 60 degree, What you mark here? Are you getting astonished that for 30 degree where the projectile fall, also at 60 degree when you throw the projectile also will fall at that point? Yes. 30 plus 60 is equal to 90. So there is a small magic here. If the sum of angle is 90 degree, then for the two angles the projectile will fall at same point. Let's see. That means there are two angles for same range. I can say here there are two angles for same range. This is the range. This to this is the range here for same angle. But this range is the maximum range. This 145 degree, this is maximum range. And this maximum range is how much? U square, our formula was sine 2 theta and sine 2 theta become 1. So our formula was u square sine 2 theta by g. So this becomes only u square by g. Only u square by g, this is the maximum range. This to this. But for any other angles, we will tell range. Okay. So for 30 degree, how much range? For 60 degree, that much range. How is it possible? Let's check. Let's prove that there are two angles for which range is same. Let's do. Now, suppose this R formula I am writing. First, let's take this 30 as theta and this is 60 as phi. I am just making them two different angles. Range is same for the two angles. U square sine 2 theta by g. U square sine 2 theta by g where it is projected at an angle theta. This is the range. So u square sine this 2 theta, I can write 180 minus 2 theta. I use trigonometry here. Remember, sine 180 minus theta, this trigonometry I use. Sine 180 minus theta is equal to sine theta. Remember this one. This one trigonometry formula. Okay, those who have no mathematics as optional, they can mug up this relation. Sine 180 minus theta is sine theta. So u square sine 2 I am taking common 90 minus theta by g. 90 minus theta by g. Okay, so this is the range where it is projected at angle theta. But when we project at angle phi, also the range is same. Okay, so we will get this one here. U square sine 2, this 90 minus theta in place of that, let's write phi. So this is the range. Same range. I am now taking the in LHS. This is the same range. Range is same, but you see one angle is theta here and one angle is phi here. One angle is theta here and one angle is phi here. That means range is same for two angles. One is theta and one is phi. So same range for two angles. But what's the difference between them? What is the difference between them? Okay, the difference between them is only height. The difference between them is only height. You see this height. If this is h1, then this height, this is h2. The heights are different. For you see, for two angles, the range is the same, but the heights are different. If it's more than 45, height is more. If less than 45, height is less. Heights are different. Okay, and also time of flight. If for this projectile time of flight t1, for this projectile time of flight t2. Time of flights are also different. Okay, so one question also I am giving you as homework here. What is the question? For two angles theta and this is 90 minus theta, theta and 90 minus theta, range is the same but heights are different and time of flights are different. So you have to find the relation between the range and the two heights. You have to find the relation between range and two heights as well as range and two time of flights. This is one question. Find the relation between R, H1, H2 and another relation between R, T1, T2. You have to find the relation between that. This is the projectile fired. This is the about range where the projectile is fired at an angle theta with the horizontal. Then lastly we will find its velocity at any instant. Instantaneous velocity. Suppose at this point it has, this is x component velocity, this is y component velocity. X component velocity, you know it doesn't change, that u cos theta. But y component velocity we have to find using equation of motion. Initially is u sin theta, so v is equal to u plus 80 means minus ct. So resultant velocity is vx square plus vy square root over, and where is the resultant moves here? Resultant moves in this line. This is the resultant velocity along the tangent. What angle it make with horizontal? Tan beta. Angle made with horizontal tan beta is equal to vy by vx, means u sin theta minus gt divided by u cos theta. This is the velocity of the projectile at any instant. So today we discuss about the projectile completely. Thank you.